Namaste. In this episode, we will be demonstrating one more procedure from Ayurveda, which is actually a part of daily regime. That means a part of Swastha Vrutta. That means every healthy person must do this procedure every day to be able to prevent many diseases. If you have observed the previous videos, we tried to demonstrate two procedures, one each from Yoga and Ayurveda. The procedure from Yoga was Jalaneti and the procedure from Ayurveda was Nasya. In both these procedures, something is put through the nose. Either it is salt water like what we did in the Jalaneti, or it can be some medicine or medicinal oil, medicated ghee, etc. in case of Nasya, nasal administration. But in both the cases, there is always a chance to spill the water or the medicine, ghee, oil, whatever we use. We can also use decoctions rarely. But whatever we put into the nose, there is always a chance that it spills in the throat. Because everyone knows a little bit of anatomy, there are openings at the back, nasopharynx and oropharynx. So nose could be connected to the throat from inside. So it is very obvious that after doing procedures like Jalaneti, yogic procedure, or Nasya, Ayurvedic procedure, the material which we used is still here in the throat. Because Ayurveda is a logical science and it is basically focused on health, Ayurveda as a part of daily regime recommends in the sequential manner, means immediately after Nasya, Ayurveda recommends another procedure which is called as Gandusha. For convenience, it could be translated as gargling, but actually there is a difference. So very soon we will demonstrate all the procedures. But in today's episode, what we are going to discuss is mainly an Ayurvedic procedure called Gandusha. So we need a decoction or some oil or medicated oil for Gandusha. So we will now prepare a medicated water recipe for Gandusha. So we are discussing Gandusha, which is actually a group of procedures, Gandusha, Kavala, etc. To simplify, we'll demonstrate how a medicated recipe of water could be prepared. So for this particular episode, what we are mixing is not important, knowing the procedure is important. So I am just putting water, plain water, in a container. I repeat, water is not the only option for Gandusha. There are many other options like decoctions, oil, medicated oil, very rarely medicated milk. Basic medium and the easily available medium is water. So today we will be demonstrating Gandusha using water. Now as you can see, there is water taken in a pot, and this is curcuma, turmeric powder in lay people's language, curcuma longa in scientific language, one of the well-known medicines in Ayurveda and now globally known for different ailments like diabetes up to Alzheimer's dementia. But what Ayurveda believes is curcuma is an excellent anti-kapha medicine. To simplify, it will help us to get rid of excess mucus, etc. in the throat cavity. So we will be making curcuma water. There is water already taken in the pot. We will mix a little bit of curcuma and we will ensure that it is mixed well and it is warm enough. According to Ayurveda, the entire mouth cavity is a site of what Ayurveda calls as kapha dosha. So using warm things are recommended. May it be oil, may it be ghee, maybe decoction or even milk. So with very few exceptions, where heat is increased and a person has heat related problems called as pitta problems, with the exception of pitta problems, for almost all other needs, for Gandusha or similar procedures, generally warm or hot things are preferred. So as you can see, this is the turmeric water slightly warm, and we will demonstrate Gandusha by using this water very soon. Hello, we are demonstrating a procedure in Ayurvedic Swastha Vrutta, that is preventive medicine, and the name of the procedure is Gandusha. So far what we have discussed is, after putting any medicine in nose, there is obviously a chance that some of the medicine spills in the throat. Whether it spills or not, anyway Ayurveda recommends the immediate next procedure as Gandusha. Now the term Gandusha in Sanskrit, it's almost impossible to translate it exactly, but for convenience, viewers can relate it to gargling in the Western language. But actually there are three possibilities of how this procedure could be done. So I request for the demonstration. Just before this, Nasya is done. So nasal drops have been administered, and chances that some of the medicine or whatever medium is used, they are already in the throat. So the medicated water, we just demonstrated that turmeric powder could be added in water, boiled a little bit, and we must wait till it gets warm, not too hot. And this type of medicated water could be used for cleansing the oral cavity. Now there are two options. One where it is moved with the help of the cheek movements. Actually that is called as kavala in Sanskrit. So when there is less water and movement is possible, that is called as kavala. That is recommended for the health of the mouth cavity. And if we use medicines like turmeric, it is very good for the health of the gums as well. As many of us know, turmeric is a blood purifier, etc. So it is mainly recommended for the health of the gums. But the basic procedure called Gandusha, please note the difference. In the previous procedure, the medium in the mouth, that was the medicated water, it was moved. And now here you can see a mouthful of the medicine is taken. Now in this case, it is sesame oil, warm sesame oil, which is kept in mouth, and it is kept in such a quantity that it's almost impossible to close the mouth. So mouthfulness is one of the criteria for Gandusha. Now those who are willing to do that, thank you. Those who are willing to do Gandusha will have many queries. First is, how long one has to do this? So there is no time limit, so to say, because it depends on individual capacities. What is important is we take any material which we are using, which I'll make a list at the end, but the material which we put it in mouth full, and we must be compelled to see upwards because our mouth is full. We are not able to close our lips. So it gives strain on the neck muscles, and a time comes when our threshold is over. We cannot hold it anymore. So that is the time when we are allowed to throw it out. According to the classical texts, they give some more signals. If we feel little bit of secretion at the tip of the nose, or some of them they can feel watering through the eyes, that is the threshold point of Gandusha. Now lastly, before we conclude this episode, two more points. Why Gandusha is to be done? Gandusha is to be done obviously for the health of the oral cavity, for healthy teeth. So for all kind of teeth problems like caries tooth, shaky tooth, etc., Gandusha on a daily basis is recommended. But Gandusha, if regularly done, also strengthens neck muscles up to the shoulder level. So Gandusha is highly recommended in Ayurveda, and there are many options for Gandusha to be done. Simplest option is water, warm water. Then we can medicate water by using different medicines like salt, turmeric powder, which we demonstrated just a while ago, or plain sesame oil. We can make it warm and use for Gandusha because sesame oil is the best anti-vata medicine So it reduces stress, strain on the muscles, etc. And as per the need, we can use decoctions of different medicines, astringent medicines, which are good for the health of the throat, pharynx and larynx. So medium we can keep on changing as per the need of the person. What is important is on a daily basis, gargling must be done. So with this, we conclude another episode of our Swastha Vrutta series. So far, we have discussed daily regime. We also discussed Nasya, the nasal administration, and the immediate next, most obvious logical sequence is Gandusha, that is gargling, which we discussed in this episode. Thank you.
Olá a todos! Se quiserem mais informações sobre a Associação Portuguesa de Medicina Ayurveda, poderão contactar-nos através de www.amayur.pt. No nosso site têm disponíveis todas as informações sobre os profissionais de medicina Ayurveda ao longo do país, assim como das entidades formadoras reconhecidas para lecionar os cursos de terapeuta e de técnico de medicina Ayurveda. Para além disso, se desejarem juntar-se à Associação Portuguesa de Medicina Ayurveda, têm 3 categorias de sócios. A categoria de sócio profissional, que pretende defender os profissionais da Ayurveda em Portugal, assim como a categoria de formando, que são todos os associados que estão em formação, e a categoria de amigo, para aqueles que gostam do Ayurveda e que querem que ele cresça em Portugal. Para além disso, também podem adquirir alguns dos produtos disponíveis na associação. Muito obrigada por assistirem ao podcast e continuem a ver.